children, hope you all are doing well. Before starting with this class, it is my humble request that whenever I teach this particular feature, please go through the NCERT books for better understanding. Today, I'll move ahead with the fourth feature of democratic politics. You know very well by now, we are talking about the features of democracy. We are highlighting for your better understanding by the various countries who have experienced how they became from undemocratic country to a democratic setup. Today, in continuation with the fourth feature, we will talk about the fourth feature emphasizing on rule of law and respect for rights. Just a brief description of rule of law. Rule of law basically means that in a democracy setup, any democratic setup, let's talk about India. If in our country there are certain rules which are being made by the constitution, which has got a legal sanction, which are prescribed by the government of our country, they are for long. Even if the president or the prime minister changes or the government goes from one political party to another political party, the rules for the common people remain the same. Only those who are in power are only chained for a tenure of 5 years. For example, BJP government winning elections after the year 2014. Before that, their Congress party was in rule and the BJP was in opposition party. Today, the scenario has changed. After 2014 till today, we find that BJP is in a ruling party. When the ruling party came, all the laws which was made, all the rules which was prescribed by the government, Congress party, which was made by the Congress party, has not been changed by the ruling government of today's India. What I am trying to say is that rules are something which cannot be changed by the coming up of the new political party. They remain the same. Only the government changes from one tenure to another tenure. Second point, talking about respect for rights. Children, we all know that in a democratic setup, in our country also, we enjoy certain fundamental rights. You are quite clear with the rights. Rights talking about right to equality, right to worship, right to religion, etc. These are all the political rights which are given to each and every individual in our country, irrespective of caste, creed, education, sex, etc. A poor person in our country or a rich person, everybody enjoys political rights prescribed by the government, by the constitution of our country equally. When we talk about right to vote, even a famous actor like Amitabh Bachchan or Shah Rukh Khan, his vote is as equivalent to the person who is working as a labor in our country. This all shows that just like right to vote, fundamental rights are also equal in our country. I would like to emphasize here that there are various famous actors who are facing the criminal judiciary, or they are going in the court because they have done something illegal for the country. For example, Salman Khan has been caught in the poaching case in Jodhpur. Whenever the date is there, irrespective of that he is a film actor, he has attained a respectable position, but still if he has done something illegal, he has to go to the courts for the various court hearings. This shows that everybody in our country enjoys equal rights as well as equal law in our country. As we already know that we every time when we are talking about the features, we cite an example to this. Today, to elaborate rule of law and democratic rights, I will be talking further about Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is a country who got its president in the year 1980. He was elected by the people in a democratic setup. But the story does not end up here. If it was till democratic setup, everything was fine. But after year 1980, the president, his name was Robert Mugabe. He wanted to be in power. That is a kind of a dictator. Just because he wanted to be in power, he never allowed any other political party to come in the form of a functioning of the government. He never allowed people to vote elections. And he had his own rule in Zimbabwe. When he had his own rule in Zimbabwe, we find that it was a kind of a dictatorial form of government. No more. Till 1980, definitely, the government was a democratic form of government. But after 1980, when Robert Mugabe never allowed the government, never allowed the existing government to cast their vote, this is the starting and the story of Zimbabwe turning from a democratic country to a non-democratic country. He adopted various corrupt means, unethical means to be in power. Let me tell you right now, his party was known as ZANU-PF. Again I am repeating, his party was known as ZANU-PF. Children, please remember that these will be all your one marker question. Years as well as which party they represented. These are all the one marker questions which I will be definitely giving. But when I am elaborating here in these videos, please make it very clear to to register in your mind so that you are not confused. Because at the end of the chapter, you might get confused with various years as well as various political parties any political leader is representing. It is my humble request, as I told you in the beginning also, please go through your NCERT books for proper understanding, for better understanding. Coming to Robert Mugabe, his party ZANU-PF. He used all the corrupt means. I will be elaborating on what are the corrupt means which he has attained to be in power, which he has used to be in power. The first unfair means was that during the election after 1980, he used all unfair means, rather dirty tricks in the election so that he becomes a powerful leader. He never wanted to give the legal power to any other party except for ZANU-PF. As a result of which, he amended the constitution in his favor for again and again. As and when people rose their voice that this is something which is not written in the constitution, he amended the government, he amended the constitution in his favor. Now you will ask a question, how come he could amend the constitution? He could amend the constitution very easily because it was his government. All the people, whether they are the lawmakers, law framers, everything were in favor of ZANU-PF or Robert Mugabe. As a result of which, whenever the constitution was amended, it was amended in his favor only. Now, you will ask a question that if he was a ruling government, there might be opposition government also or opposition party also. Like in our country, 2020, the ruling government is BJP and the opposition party is Congress party. Wherever the policies are disliked by the opposition party, they raise their voice. It comes in the social media how Rahul Gandhi criticized various policies which are being formulated by our ruling government or the ruling Prime Minister of our country, respected Narendra Modi ji. As a result of which, we find that with the government, and it is, let me remind you children, whenever the opposition party criticizes the ruling party takes care of it and make changes in favor of the government to satisfy the ruling party, who are at times are in the favor of the common people also. Now, when we talk about Zimbabwe, coming back to the story again, talking about the fourth feature, we find that in Zimbabwe, wherever the opposition party workers there, as soon as they rose their voice against the ruling government, that is Robert Mugabe, these workers were harassed. As soon as they rose their voice, they were humiliated by ZANU-PF people. They said that ZANU-PF people said, humiliated them and said that their voice is illegal. Please remember, ZANU-PF voice was illegal. His tenure was illegal. But just for the lust of power, he declared that all the opposition party who will raise their voice against ZANU-PF, against Robert Mugabe, they will be harassed and their voice will not be heard. This says you must be clear with now that when we talk about democratic setup is where the people voice is heard. But here the people voice was not heard. As soon as their voice was against the ruling government, their voice was being subdued. As a result of which, we find that the ZANU-PF government was in the ruling party. They were in the ruling government. The next dirty trick which was adopted by ZANU-PF was that anywhere, any group of people, any organization, any opposition party or any group of people, when they raise their voice that ZANU-PF is doing something illegal, or they protested against them, the ZANU-PF, who was the ruling government, they declared that the protest was illegal, so that ZANU-PF government could be in the ruling party. Please let me remind you right now, all the dirty tricks, corrupt practices, all the unethical practices which was in favor of ZANU-PF, these were all being declared illegal so that they could be in the power. They never wanted their ZANU-PF power to go through to any other political party. Next dirty trick was that all the means of communication in the year 1980, TV and radio were the effective means of communication. In the TV as well as radio, wherever the people, the reporters, the journalists or any spokesperson spoke against the existing ZANU-PF, that was being deleted or that was being cut. As a result of which, TV and radio was solely controlled by the government. Can you tell me which government? Yes, exactly, true. It was ZANU-PF government. Now you will come forward that when the ruling of the government was all illegal, where was the judiciary? As whenever in a country, if a government is not functioning according to the framework of the government, judiciary is there who punishes the people who are doing illegal things in our country. Like in our government, in the existing government of India, anything which is being illegal, formed by any government, whether it is a prime minister, whether it is a president, whether it is a cabinet of ministers, if they are found that they are illegal, they are doing something against the framework of the constitution, judiciary punishes them. But in ZANU-PF, judiciary was also ignored by the government. I will like to conclude with this particular point. The fourth feature of our democratic politics or democracy, that a democratic setup is that setup which rules within the limits set up by the constitutional law. Constitutional law means the law which is being prescribed by the government of that particular country, and it take care of the rights of the citizen. Hope I am quite clear with my explanation. Thank you very much.